wins. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Atlanta Falcons and the New Orleans Saints. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports.
Lucky 56. Gone. Watch it now, Barney. No. Check, Patriot.
Now the first carry for Ronald Jones. And this first play will get him back to the 25, but that's going to be in. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. He'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. T.J. Green with a pick. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And this is caught inside the 5. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. And that one results in 35 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Gone. Over. Here we go.
They'll try to run with Hines. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Nyheim Hines with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Breaks a tackle. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak. Got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
A nice performance last week. Recognized as NFC Player of the Week after going over 100 yards rushing. I just love the vision. I love the wiggle he has, but I also love the power when he ends his runs.
That's what impressed me. Yes, there was some elusiveness last week. A couple times he just ran over guys. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now a first down carry by Jones. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, it's Jones. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. The tackle made there by Tack McKinley. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. A gain of 13 and also a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on first and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a second and 13. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's second and 13. Looking to throw. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. He'll drop to throw. And he's going to go down again. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a second and 7. Now second and 7 from the 23. On the ground, this is Rashad Penny. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a third and about 5.
Nice job there defensively on third down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Ito Smith, his first carry. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
Not the result they were looking for there on third down. They end up taking a loss on the play. The only person happy now, the punter, gets to go out there and show Mom that he gets to play in the game.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Fielded just inside the 20. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know. I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney! Gun! 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 Gun!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. A dump underneath to Jones. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd and 1. And this is a guy who last week not only helped his real team, but really helped a lot of fantasy teams. 3 trips to pay dirt. They've got to contain him.
And watching him plays like going to lunch with you when you order that combo plate, right? In this case, his combo plate is he can go over the top of you and catch it in front, turn it into a big gain, run past you, and then uses his size.
Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that'll make the score 14-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Miles Jack there to make the tackle.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, the Saints were able to hold on to it, so they will indeed keep possession.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because This is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with it.
And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points.
Now, that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10.
Over! Here we go now.
Here's a handoff to Hines to begin the drive. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and they ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Penny. Space to run past the 20. Touchdown, Falcons! Rashad Penny, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. Well, they ran the toss, trusting he had the speed to get to the edge, and he did.
And there really wasn't any doubt about that because the scouting report told you that this guy could flat out run. When you give him a little bit of space and a chance to get there, he usually does.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
Over!
They'll run it now out of the gun. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Back to throw now on 1st down. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the pressure gets to him again.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Gun! 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 Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Taken from just outside the 30. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Here's Hines on a toss play. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
Here's Hines. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. We're back to New Orleans after this. On 3rd down. That's Hines. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. $12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll set up to throw. His throw incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
They'll set up the throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. And the Falcons going to use another timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Ryan Allen now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taken in at the 22. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. And they'll start on the ground with Hines. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. 23 yards on the play.
That was a beautifully executed screen pass. Let the rushers get upfield. The blocking forms in front. Lofted it to the runner. And now, not only does he have open space in front of him, he's got an escort as well, and they pick up big yardage.
Penny, a first down carry. And a short gain down to about the 33. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. On the move to his left. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
No. Check. Patriot. No. Check. Patriot. Gun.
Back to throw here. He's got an open man. He completes it to Callaway. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. There's just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So out come the Falcons now. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They begin the drive with Hines. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit the tackle there to Uchenna Nwosu.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Over! Set! Blue 90!
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They keep it with Penny on first down. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Watch him now, Barney! Gun!
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
The Falcons on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It'll be a gain of 7, but I'd imagine we'll see the punt team here on 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The Falcons send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. And they'll let this one go right on the outskirts of the 10. They'll down it at the 11-yard line. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Watch him now, Barney.
Now back to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The Saints on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
And from their own end zone, it's a fake. And this is caught. And the fake will work. He's going to have a 1st down. The trick play works. Excellent execution. 18 yards on that fake and a 1st down.
Gun! Watch him now, Barney.
They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off around the 37. Oh, and the big play's going to get even bigger as penalty flags are down, and I believe they're going to get a face mask penalty tacked on. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Watch him now, Barney.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. The Saints say they have it, and they do.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Now a toss play. It's Hines. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
So not sure how they feel about that. They had golden field position to start the drive after the fumble recovery, but they went backward and then got 3.
Well, let's go from gold to silver, because the silver lining is they got the 3, right? You were talking about the golden field position. They didn't take advantage of it. That has to feel like a letdown.
You always stand ready to pounce. Always. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is...
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 17. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
No.
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Again, it's Jones. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Detroit!
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And Tate's got it. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. The give is to Jones. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
He'll look to throw. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
A give to Jones. He juked him, and he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Back now here live in New Orleans. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
on play action. They'll throw. And he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury.
56. Lucky 56. Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
They'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The 21 yards there as they convert on third.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second down. They go back to the ground with Jones. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and they're going to have a third down. They're going to look to throw, and he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and that'll bring up fourth down. Out now is the field goal unit for New Orleans. Kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. They run again with Hines. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. A big run there, 29 yards and a first. Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did? Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. This is Hines, and an alley to run, and he's going to get this inside the 30. A nice carry there of 15 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. They make a good bit of that yardage back as they're set up in much better shape now for 2nd and goal. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now Rashad Penny, and they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. The Falcons on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. They'll drop the throw, and that is out of the back of the end zone, incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss a one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased.
And now a fumble. The ball's out. And the Falcons say they have it. They do.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.
Gone, 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 gone. Gone, 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 gone.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Brandon, at some point, these defenders absolutely have to say, we've just got to make a stand. We've had enough of this.
Giving up a lot of points in this game, but look better on that play. And now he'll tuck it and run. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and goal.
Here we go now. Blue Liners.
Penny will try to punch it in. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. And Elliott puts this one through. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at him turn.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
They'll look to throw here. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. T.J. Green with a pick. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. Second time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. Looking left side, he's got it complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to